Welcome to today's session in physics. Today we are discussing one of the most important topic in this chapter, that is Earth's magnetic field. There are many evidences which support Earth's magnetic field. First of all, a freely suspended magnetic needle comes to rest roughly in north-south direction. This is what we mean by the directive property of a bar magnet. And it is with this property we find out the rough north-south directions at a place. And the second evidence is this: an iron bar buried in the earth becomes a weak magnet after some time. And the existence of neutral points near a bar magnet also support the presence of magnetic field. Here the neutral points means around a bar magnet there are positions where the net magnetic field becomes zero. It shows the presence of an unknown field, which is actually Earth's magnetic field. So these evidences, they support the presence of magnetic field. And we know the strength of this magnetic field due to Earth is very weak, and it is of the order 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. And there are many theories which explains the Earth's magnetic field. And the Earth's magnetic field, it is in such a way that there is a huge bar magnet buried inside Earth along the axis of rotation. The Earth's magnetic field behaves like that. And the newly acceptable theory says that this magnetic field, it arises due to the electrical currents produced by the convective motion of metallic fluids, which consists mostly of molten iron and nickel in the outer core of Earth. So actually the convective motion of the metals which are in the outer core of Earth, mainly the molten iron and nickel. Due to the convective motion of these metals, Earth's magnetic field is produced. And this theory is termed as dynamo effect. And the magnetic field lines, as you can see in the picture, the magnetic field lines of the Earth resemble that of a magnetic dipole located inside the Earth along the axis of rotation. And the field lines directions also we have to note. That means it emerges out from the North Pole and gets into at the South Pole. And the axis of this big dipole does not coincide with the axis of rotation of Earth, and it is actually tilted approximately by an angle 11.3 degree with respect to the other one. That means the axis of rotation. That means the magnetic axis makes an angle 11.3 degree with the axis of rotation. So Earth's magnetic poles are not located exactly at geographic north and south poles. The location of magnetic north is at latitude 79.74 degree north and a longitude 71.8 degree west, and it is at a place somewhere in North Canada. And magnetic south pole, it is at 79.74 degree south and 108.22 degree east in Antarctica. Here you can see from the diagram that magnetic field lines are going into magnetic north and magnetic field lines are going away from magnetic south. But in the case of a bar magnet, when we take the case of a bar magnet, field lines, they start from north and end at south. So actually it is emerging out of north and coming into south. Just opposite behavior here we have the case with Earth's magnetic field. It is because of the fact that at the magnetic north, actually we have the south polarity of Earth's magnetic field, and at the magnetic south we have the north polarity. But by convention, these poles were called as magnetic north and magnetic south. So even now we follow the same convention, that is the magnetic pole which is nearer to geographic north is called magnetic north, and the magnetic pole which is nearer to geographic south is called as magnetic south. The same convention we follow even now. Now we discuss the three elements of Earth's magnetic field. The three elements are magnetic declination, magnetic inclination, and horizontal component. These three quantities are termed as the elements of Earth's magnetic field. Let's begin with declination. If we consider a point on the Earth's surface, at that point, the direction of longitude circle determines the geographic north-south direction, and the line of longitude towards North Pole gives the direction of true north. The vertical plane containing this longitude circle and the axis of rotation of Earth is called as geographic meridian. So geographic meridian, it consists of longitude circle and the axis of rotation. In the same way, we can define magnetic meridian as the plane consisting of the imaginary line joining the magnetic north and south poles. This plane also would intersect the surface of Earth in longitude-like circles. And the angle between these two meridians, that means the angle between geographic meridian and magnetic meridian, is called as the angle of declination. And it is the same as the angle between the directions of true north and the magnetic north. Actually, this declination depends on latitude. Declination is greater at higher latitudes and smaller near the equator. The declination in India is very small and it is 0 degree 41 minute east at Delhi and 0 degree 58 minute west at Mumbai. So angle of latitude, it is very small in India. That is the reason. Now let's see this angle of declination in detail. We know that Earth is spherical in shape. On this spherical surface, we can draw an infinite number of circles which passes through geographic north and south. All these circles, they have a common diameter which passes through the geographic north and south, or it passes through the axis of rotation. These imaginary circles drawn on the surface of Earth are called as longitude circles. These longitude circles and axis of rotation at a place can be drawn in a single plane. The plane drawn with longitude circle and axis of rotation is called as geographic meridian at a place. This geographic meridian, it looks like a straight line when viewed from the top. Similarly, we can draw a plane consisting of the line joining the magnetic north and magnetic south at a place. This is called as magnetic meridian. When viewed from the top, the magnetic meridian also looks like a line joining the magnetic north and south. At a given place, both the magnetic meridian and geographic meridian, they look like two intersecting lines. The acute angle formed between the magnetic meridian and the geographic meridian is called as the magnetic declination or simply declination. It is represented by the letter D. Declination changes from place to place on the surface of Earth. It is minimum at the equator and it goes on increasing with latitude angle. Now coming to the next quantity called magnetic inclination or dip. When we think about the Earth's magnetic field, the Earth's magnetic field at a particular place may not be exactly horizontal. The angle made by Earth's magnetic field with the horizontal, This is Earth's magnetic field. So the angle made by Earth's magnetic field with the horizontal in the magnetic meridian, that angle is defined as angle of inclination or angle of dip. It is represented by the letter I. A compass needle can rotate in a horizontal plane about a vertical axis, and when kept at a particular place, it gets aligned with the magnetic north-south direction at that place and it comes to rest. But if a compass needle, if it is kept free to rotate in a vertical plane about a horizontal axis, that compass needle will be rotating when kept in a magnetic meridian. When such a magnetic needle is taken to northern hemisphere, its north side will dip down, and when such a needle is taken to southern hemisphere, its south side will dip down. The angle through which this magnetic needle dips with respect to the horizontal is called as magnetic inclination or simply inclination, and it is represented by the letter I. So when we consider the magnetic field at a particular place, the angle made by the total magnetic field of Earth with the horizontal direction is called as magnetic inclination, or magnetic inclination is the angle made by Earth's magnetic field with the horizontal in the magnetic meridian, and this inclination is 0 at the equator and it increases as the latitude increases. A device which is used to measure angle of dip or angle of inclination is a dipping compass or a dip needle. The diagrams are as shown. So as it is shown, the needle is free to rotate in a vertical plane about a horizontal axis. When we measure angle of dip, it is found to be maximum, that means 90 degree at the magnetic poles, and it is found to be minimum, as we said, at the equator, and at the other places its value lies between 0 and 90 degree. So you can see from this diagram, that is the Earth's magnetic field, it is BE, and it is resolved into two components, one along horizontal and the other along vertical. That horizontal direction, that component, it is HE, and that vertical component is ZE. It is that HE, that is the third element of Earth's magnetic field, that is termed as horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Now coming to dip itself, in the case of angle of dip, in most of the northern hemisphere, the north pole of the dip needle, it tilts downwards, and in southern hemisphere, the south pole of the dip needle tilts downwards. So in different parts, the orientation of the dip needles, it is as shown. Here the red side stands for north and blue stands for south. So different at different places, the orientation of the dip needle. Now coming to the third element, that is the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So the horizontal component means the component of magnetic field, Earth's magnetic field along the horizontal, that is termed as horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So here we have this diagram showing all the three components or the three elements of Earth's magnetic field. In this diagram, this is the direction of true north, means geographic north, and this is the direction of what? Horizontal component of Earth, the magnetic field, and that is the direction of magnetic north at that place. So at the place P, the two directions are given, and the angle between those two directions are taken, or it is taken as declination, that is D. And here we have the angle of inclination I. That means here Earth's magnetic field, the actual magnetic field is this, and the components of Earth's magnetic field are HE and ZD. It is resolved into two components, one along the surface of Earth and one perpendicular to it. That along the surface, that component we take as the horizontal component, and that is HE. So that angle between BE and HE is taken as the angle of inclination or angle of dip. That is written as I. So in terms of this I, we can represent HE and ZD by taking the fundamentals of vector resolution. So we have HE and ZD as HE is equal to BE cos I and ZD is equal to BE sin I. And dividing the two equations, we have tan I is equal to ZD by HE. So this equation, very important one, we are representing the components of Earth's magnetic field in terms of angle of inclination. So the three elements of Earth's magnetic field are magnetic declination, that is the angle between geographic meridian and magnetic meridian. Second one, angle of dip or magnetic inclination, that is the angle made by Earth's total magnetic field with the horizontal direction in the magnetic meridian. And the third one, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. It is the component of Earth's total magnetic field in the horizontal direction in the magnetic meridian. So these are the elements of Earth's magnetic field. With this, we conclude.